Another disappointing weekend for Sergio Perez, another chance to talk about him leaving from next season. But this time it looks like Christian Horner is really set to replace the Mexican driver, having some interesting options on the table. As a rookie in F1, it was always hard to find a big team which can invest in you with their trust and money, but now it seems that everybody is desperate in catching as many rookies as they can. After Oliver Behrman and Kimi Antonelli secured their places in the next season, another young talent is looking to secure his seat for next year, a talent found by the genius of James Vowles. Franco Colapinto is the new F1 sensation, and it seems that every big team wants a piece of him for the next season. And one of those teams is none other than Red Bull. Even though the Red Bull team has a full roster, it seems that Christian Horner is still looking for some more drivers. And it seems that the driver with the highest chances of being replaced is the one with highest number of spins this year, Sergio Perez. The young Argentine has been recognized as a potential candidate to join the Red Bull stable next season after impressing in his brief time on the grid, with team principal Christian Horner meeting with Williams boss James Vowles for negotiations. We hear that the meetings between Horner and Vowles were to investigate options for Colapinto, with Williams team principal Vowles revealing that his driver is attracting interest from other teams, but that he is working on a solution that protects Franco as well as all parties. He is now set to leave Formula One in 2025, with Carlos Sainz already signed with Williams for next season and Alex Albon under contract, but his performances since replacing Logan Sargent have piqued the interest of multiple teams, according to Vowles. With Red Bull believed to be one of those interested in Colapinto, former Lotus and HRT driver Chandhok explained that while he has given the perfect job interview so far, stepping into a potential cockpit at Red Bull may be a step too far too soon, suggesting a position at sister team VCARB instead if Red Bull decides to part ways with Sergio Perez at the end of the year. He's clearly very quick, clearly very talented, Chandhok said of Colapinto on the Sky F1 podcast. I think we'll all admit, including Williams, that it's been a bit of a surprise because his junior Formula record didn't suggest he's going to be as good as he has been. And maybe he is well suited to an F1 car or the style of driving, but I think it'd be a mistake to put him in a Red Bull. I think it's too early. I think if they were talking about putting him in an RB, I think that'll be a good, sensible choice and a career progression for him. I think if they put him in a Red Bull alongside Max, it could destroy him. I think it'd be too soon. The best choice or the best option is if Checo improves and stays there, that they don't have to do anything and they can stay status quo. But if that improvement is not coming, maybe they're going to put Liam Lawson in and they put Franco in there at VARB. Because honestly, if you look at the run he's had, it's like a guy who has done the perfect job interview, right? He's come there, made an impact, bang, quick straight away. Results in Singapore, Baku, amazing. But then as you've got into it, and the races are unfolding in Mexico, he was some way off Alex in qualifying. And Brazil, he was some way off Alex in qualifying. Two big shunts, it's still not the complete package in terms of his experience, I think. I would think even for himself and his own management, I'd probably say, let's think of the long term here. And if there's an option of RB instead of going to Red Bull, I think that would be better for him, and it's probably a better choice for Red Bull to be making as well. But in all of this, it seems that Williams had forgot something pretty important. And that thing is that they already have two drivers for next season, which have big numbers on the driver market. Sainz became a free agent for a substantial amount of the season once it was reported that Lewis Hamilton would be joining Ferrari next year, despite the Spanish driver earlier declaring that he had conversations with every team at various points. He subsequently picked Williams as his next destination on a longer multi-year contract. However, with more immediately competitive seats available in the short term, the four-time Grand Prix champion confessed he couldn't understand being passed up, though he is now prepared for his next move with Williams. Sky F1 informed Sainz that prospects to drive for Red Bull and Mercedes had doors close fairly rapidly earlier this year, which the 30-year-old admits was a blow to his driver ego at the time. I've definitely come to peace. And I am a true believer that if I'm not going there, it's because life just doesn't want me to be there. There's something else coming after that. That will actually turn out to be good, Sainz said. It hurt at the time. We all have egos, and I have a driver ego, and I couldn't understand it at the time. I still personally cannot understand certain choices that people have done, but at the same time, it creates even more of a challenge in me, and it even makes me more excited for Williams. Williams is the one that has invested in me, that have backed me up from the beginning, the ones that came to me a full year ago, and that actually makes me super excited. I said, I want to give to these guys what they've given to me. Give back to them this trust and this belief in me. I cannot wait to go there and, together with them, build something good. So it seems that Carlos Sainz is not ready to leave yet, even though he didn't even start it already. But if Colapinto would move to Red Bull, what should happen with the other drivers waiting in line for that seat? Lawson replaced Daniel Ricciardo at VCARB following the Singapore Grand Prix, and is said to be in the running to drive for Red Bull next season if the team decides to replace Perez. Red Bull is also thought to be considering bringing Franco Colapinto to the squad next season, as the Williams driver has impressed since replacing Logan Sargent on the grid following the summer break. Lawson has had a few run-ins since his return to the track, most notably with Fernando Alonso in Austin and Perez himself in Mexico City, where he apologized for raising his middle finger at the Red Bull driver while in the car. However, after placing 9th in the sprint at Interlagos over the weekend, one position behind Perez in the Red Bull, the VARB driver qualified 5th and finished 9th in the weekend's points. This attracted praise from former team principal Jordan, who feels the New Zealander is the best contender to succeed Perez next season, with not a chance the Mexican will be in the vehicle by 2025. The person who stood out for me, and I have to be honest, Lawson is the real deal here, Jordan said on the Formula 4 Success podcast. He drove with a lot of pressure, and he knows how to handle himself. He had not got the car that Lewis Hamilton had, he has not got the car that other people had, but he displayed a level of competence that I was super impressed with. He's ready to fly in 2025. Perez, how many chances has he had? Do you think he'll have a drive next year? Not a chance. Lovely, lovely, lovely guy, but we know lovely guys don't win you Grand Prix. Whereas Lawson is the deal, he's part of the family there, part of the makeup, and he is the person that should be in that car. Co-host. 13-time Grand Prix winner David Coulthard added, I'm not going to disagree with the fact Checo is a lovely guy. He has been a Grand Prix winner. He has been a loyal servant as the team have been to him, but unless something happens in the next 3 races that gives you a whole lot of confidence that it's just an ism with this car, then the writing is very, very boldly on the wall. So, who would you see in that Red Bull seat for next season? Please tell us in the comments and give us a like, share and subscribe if you want to see more F1 content.